We're going to be talking about two very important subjects today, or at least one if we don't get into the second one. The first topic we're going to be getting into is sometimes confidence isn't loud. It's just not needing validation anymore. And number two, and this is for most people who are grinding, because you might have already experienced this or you might experience it in the future. Sometimes you could feel guilty for leveling up, which can be weird, yeah, but it is a true feeling that you can feel. Now, tying back to the first topic, which is sometimes confidence isn't loud, it's just not needing validation anymore. Let's dive into another subject first before we get into this one. Let's explain why people want and need validation, right? People want validation because it makes you feel good when you get validation from people. Like, for example, if you ask someone, is this a good idea? And they say, yes, that's a great idea. It makes you feel good. It gives you that dopamine effect. That's why people crave external validation. That's why people care about opinions, because it can either make you feel good or it can make you feel bad. However, if you say, does this shirt look good? Even if you like the shirt, if the person who you're asking doesn't like it, it's going to make you feel some type of way. You're going to be like, should you wear that shirt? Should you not? Nah, they don't like it. Let me tell you something. You being confident in yourself is not needing external approval. Now, I know some people might get that confused with criticism and then people talking mess. Those are two different things. If someone's giving you strategical criticism, then that's different. For example, if you need to work on your speaking, someone could say, oh yeah, just work on this part. That isn't talking mess. That's just giving you strategical criticism that you're going to need to improve your speech. That's different. Now, in order for people to be confident, you have to understand that true confidence isn't in being loud. It isn't about bragging. It isn't about flexing. Being confident is presence. How you perceive yourself to the world. What's crazy is a person can walk in a room with presence alone and not say a word. However, most people have respect for him. Why? It's like energy. It's like you can feel energy. You know how someone walks in the room? They might not say anything, but you can feel that they're confident. Like, you can feel someone who's confident, bro. Like, I know it's not just me. You can feel it in the room, in the atmosphere. What's up? Goop chat, what's good? What's good, Everly? What's good, everyone? How's everyone's day today, man? How's everyone's day? How is everyone's day today, guys? How is everyone's day? Hopefully everyone's going good. But yeah, what I was saying is you guys need to learn that confidence isn't loud, you know? I know there's many young kids who watch Fresh and Fit. If you guys watch Fresh and Fit, there is some things that they say. However, there are some things that it's causing young boys to not know the true reality of the earth. What's good, Randa? And then Goop Chat, can't complain, bro. How about you? Same, bro. I mean, I can't really complain either. I'm grateful I woke up. Another day to conquer. Thank God for waking me and everyone else up this morning. You know, gotta be grateful, man. Gotta be grateful. But yeah, guys, and it's like, I understand that a lot of boys, they don't have the experience. For example, they don't have the experience of how to talk with women. They don't have the experience of how to get women to like them. They don't have that experience. So that's why people look up the Fresh and Fit. Once y'all get experience, it's different because now you can compare. That's why me and my little brother, we can watch the Fresh and Fit podcast and we can say, that is true, or nah, that's not true. Because we have experience. Experience, to some degree, will beat knowledge if you only have knowledge. Like, having the knowledge without the experience doesn't give you the full book. Having the experience and then hearing the knowledge gives you the duality that you need. You need the knowledge and you need to apply it you need to have the experience. You need both. Without both, you cannot get the full circle. You can't get the full piece of the pie. You can't get it. Which is going back to my main point when I was talking about confidence isn't loud. Confidence isn't loud. Confidence is about your presence. It's about your energy. It's about how you move. See, you don't want to just do this. You don't want to just talk. Show it with your actions. And a way to be confident internally is about not needing external validation. You have to be so internal with yourself that you're able to go outside shopping by yourself. You're able to go to a restaurant by yourself. You are able to do stuff without the approval of others. That can only come from a place of solitude. You have to be by yourself. If you're not by yourself, you will never know. You will never know. In order to master yourself, you have to be by yourself in solitude. If you're not in solitude, you're not going to learn anything at all. You're not going to learn anything at all. What are we talking about? Basically, I'm telling you exactly what I'm talking about. Basically, I'm talking about how in order to truly grow as a person, you have to, at some point in your life, sit by yourself in solitude and think. The problem is when people have problems, right? Not all people, but some people. When some people have problems, what they do is they distract themselves. So instead of them facing the problem head on, right? Instead of facing the problem head on, they go out, they party, they drink, and they distract themselves from the problem. They actually distract themselves. Yo, what's good, Venom? What's good, Venom? I'm glad he was able to make it. I'm glad he was able to make it. Yeah, you're not doing that. I mean, it's fine. I mean, I understand if people don't want to do it, but I'm telling the truth of how you can really start building yourself, how you can start growing. Now, I'm not saying you have to do that. You don't. But if you're gonna sit there and pretend that the problem isn't there, well, then that's on you. Do you have Roblox? Nah, I don't. I used to play Roblox, but I don't play Roblox as much anymore. But yeah, can you sub? Sure. I mean, if you guys wanna like, comment, subscribe, man, let me know. Or you can if you want. I don't want to force anyone to do anything, you know. Free will and choice is how you know who's really there for you and who's going to support you. Like, imagine being forced to sub to a person's channel. Like that is, it's like it's fake, right? Like, you want to have real people alongside with you. But yeah, guys, it's just, you know, and I'm not saying you have to do it 24/7, but maybe even if it's just 10 minutes a day, if you could just sit in solitude by yourself and just learn how to master being alone, that is how you start having that confidence to where you don't have to have external validation. You don't have to have people around you. I'm not saying cut off your friends. I still see my friends, but I know how to be by myself too. And that's the perfect mix. Some people either are with their friends 24/7 and don't know how to be by themselves, or people cut off all their friends and now they're isolated and they're lonely. You don't have to do that. You don't have to cut off your friends. All I'm saying is just practice on learning how to be by yourself, step by step. If you could just do 5 minutes a day, just quietness, thinking about what's going on about your life, that is building solitude. Until you can eventually go the whole day with being by yourself. If you can go a whole day with being by yourself, that is you mastering solitude. Then you could probably go a month by being by yourself, then 2 months. But you can always visit your friends. It's fine. I'm not saying to cut off your friends. What I am saying is master being by yourself. Because when you can be by yourself, you won't need other people's approval. And if you don't need other people's approval, you can do stuff on your own time. And if you can do stuff on your own time, you can always guarantee to get what you need to get done. That's a guarantee. If your friends were to cut you off today, will you still be good? Will you still be content? This is why you have to practice being by yourself too. This is why you have to practice being by yourself. Your friends are not guaranteed to stay with you. If your friends cut you off, if you learned how to be by yourself, you won't trip. You might care a little bit, but you know how to master being by yourself. The problem is they don't teach this in school. They don't teach master being by yourself. Facts. Isolation is great for improvement. I'm telling you, bro, people don't know. I've done it. Isolation is the perfect improvement to really see who you really are. You get to learn so much stuff when you're by yourself. You can't learn yourself when you're with a bunch of people. It's all distractions. However, most of this world wants distractions. They want the clubs. They want the parties. They want to drink. They want to do this stuff. However, I'm telling you that if you really want to improve in your life, I'm not saying to cut off your friends. I'm not saying that. You don't have to cut off your friends. However, you do need to understand that you need to be by yourself at some point. So for example, if you see your friends 7 days a week, maybe start seeing them 6 days a week or 5 days a week. And maybe you spend just a day or two by yourself thinking about your life. That's when you start thinking of ideas. That's when you start improving. That's when you start doing it. You learn yourself best when you are by yourself. You couldn't have said it better, which is exactly what I'm trying to say. You do. You learn yourself best when you're by yourself. How are you supposed to really digest and understand what you are, who you are as a person when you're around people who are constantly talking, constantly just doing stuff? How? It's impossible. However, I understand that solitude can be a scary place because that is where the truth lies. The truth lies in solitude. Most people don't want to face that truth. The truth is hard. The truth is hard. People would rather want comforting lies and fantasies than the truth because the truth stings. But it's that sting that's going to allow you to accelerate your life. It's going to make your life better. It is that truth, that uncomfortable truth that you're running from. I'm telling you, that is exactly what you need to make your life better. You just have to accept it. That's where we're at in 2025, to where it's like most people, they don't want to accept the truth. You had to learn about isolation later on in life. You seem to have it down at a young age. Smart man. Yeah, man. You know, and I'm 18, and I would say shout out to my mom, because my mom was, I wouldn't even say she was isolated, but she was so content being by herself that it's like I was seeing that. So that's probably to a degree a reason why I know how to be by myself and still be content. Honestly, being by yourself, it's honestly fun. I'm not gonna lie. Being by yourself is fun. I don't know if most people will agree or disagree on that, but it's pretty fun. Yo, what's good? Too sleazy. You just have to find stuff that you like to do. It doesn't matter if it's painting, reading a book. Like, you can do all that by yourself. And what I'm saying is, being by yourself builds independence as well. When you are able to do stuff on your own, you don't have to rely on people. Bro, I never liked relying on people. Like, that's one thing about me. Like, when I was like younger, right? And I'm still young now, I'm 18, but when I was like 15, 14, like, I don't like relying on people. Like, if I want to get something done, then I want to get it done this day. The problem is, when you're relying on people, you could be like, oh, can we go to the store to get some V-Bucks? Or can we go to the store and do this? And sometimes there'll be some people who be like, oh, no, tomorrow, or when I feel like it, or next year. Or it's like, I want to do it now. That's why independence is very important. Independence is important. You need to learn how to have independence. Now, once again, I'm going to say it one more time. That doesn't mean you have to cut off your friends. I'm not saying just full go isolation mode, cut your friends off. You don't have to do that. You could just balance both. There's either some people who say just ignore the distractions, or there's either people who say ignore the distractions, be isolated, ignore your friends, or you have the other group who says, oh no, you don't have to be isolated, just be out 24/7. No. I'm saying, I'm like telling y'all the middle line of it. You can still have your friends, but you need to learn how to be by yourself. I'm telling you. That is what you need. Yo, Venom, are you still here or no? I'm not sure. It's my moderator. I don't know if Venom is still in the chat, but Venom, just type if you're still in. I'm not sure. Just type if you're still in the chat. Oh, there you go, Venom. You learned it at an even younger age. I know. So I'm saying, like, you learned it at an even younger age. That's very important. And you wouldn't say isolation. I would say you just need to know the balance. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying isolate yourself from the world. That's what probably some people would say. Oh, you need to isolate yourself. You need to lock in and grind 24/7. Bro, these content creators or these red pill creators telling y'all to grind 24/7 ain't even grinding 24/7. How are you supposed to grind 24/7 when you have to sleep 8 hours a day? Then you might have to wake up and brush your teeth. You got to take a shower. You ain't working 24/7. Like, you're not. And you're not working 18-hour days. Let me actually make this clear. If you want to build something, you do not have to work 18 hours a day just to build something. There are people like Aiden Ross who can just go live for 30 minutes and have more views than the guy who was posting for 18 hours a day. So that proves that that hard work stuff, no. Long-term hard work will not get you to scale. You have to have systems. The reason why people have the business isn't solely because of their work. It's because they can sleep and others are working. That's a system. And you can only have that system once you've put in the hard work. Until you've put in the hard work, until you have something to show on your portfolio, you don't even think about leverage. What are you leveraging? You ain't leveraging nothing. It's the same thing with content creation. If you don't have at least like 100 videos, like you shouldn't even be thinking about leveraging. You need to put in the work first, and then, only then, can you talk about it. Now, going back to the main point on how sometimes confidence isn't loud, it's just not needing validation anymore. You need to start building internal confidence to where you're so content within that your confidence isn't loud. Your confidence is just your energy. It's in how you move. People can sense when you don't need validation. That's that type of confidence I'm talking about. It's in your presence. It's something that's subtle, but many people pick up on it. I'm telling you. I'm trying to tell you. We'll get to the second topic. What is it? Not tomorrow, but on Wednesday. We'll get onto the second topic. How you ever feel guilty for leveling up? Because I know most people can feel guilty for leveling up. You level up, and then people are saying, "Ah, why are you doing that?" Bro, some people will try to deter you from your goals and your aspirations. You just have to be able to keep on sticking to the plan. No matter how hard it is, stick to the plan. Anyway, guys, thank y'all, Ascendants, for liking, subscribing, and commenting on this video, man. Good talks with y'all, man. And we'll see y'all in the next live stream, which is going to be on Wednesday, guys. All right, guys, you guys have a good day. Be blessed and stay safe.